All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. The Tuff Built Bud Box. I really like this setup. Rick Bork and Midwest Alice Acres and six other guys were down here, and um, we were walking through this thing, and this is a slick little deal for guys like us, even large farms. You know, look at the number of head that Ted Collar uses or runs through, and a bud box even for his scale works fantastic. It's just a great, fast way to organize the cattle. So on the kit, it's just the alley frame piece and the gate piece. And you can see there's enough storage. I think if you pushed him in, you get a panel. You get a panel or two on this side. But more so, you got this empty side. You could hang your 5 panels to create your box on the other side. So what we got going on is out here, this would be leading up to your alley or your corral or your barn, your lean-to, whatever you got, bringing the cows to this point. So here's our alley frame. Works nice. We come up to our door. We'll open our slide. Hear how smooth that runs? Open our door to 12 foot. We're 12 feet wide. So a little box. This setup would be to do 3 cows at a time. So you chase the 3 cows through. I'll stay on this side of the gate. The gate's gonna slam latch behind us. Maybe we have to come in here, maybe we don't. Depends on the cows. They're gonna come in, they're gonna just kind of circle the perimeter. That's where they came from, so that's where they're gonna go back to. They're gonna circle. And shoom, 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 down they go. That's shut. Now they're in here. The first one, with any luck, is already up at the chute, waiting. Fast, very easy, very user-friendly. A couple things you want to be careful of is, like this setup where we're only doing 3 cows at a time. We don't want our little box corral here. You know, we don't want to be 40 feet long out there. They're gonna get out there. They're gonna kind of come back, and they're just gonna get lost out here. You keep it high and tight, so to speak. Just working with that natural instinct of the cow, and it's fast. It's fast, and it works well. Smaller calves, or the first time you run them through, they might not get the gist of it. They might come over here, you know, and then they might box up in this corner and be like, what do we do? But they'll get it. They'll get it. Just that's where patience comes in, and just good manners, working with the cows. We'll change a subject here, but can we just talk about that little Ted Collar for a moment? What a fantastic young man. I've talked to Brad Larson about this, John Sampson. We're kind of in a chat group together with Ted, but in side conversations and with a dozen other people. I talked to Dan Fike in Pennsylvania, and there's a couple guys in Painesville that aren't on they never chat, you know, they never comment. They're just lurkers, you know, on YouTube. And so I've talked to dozens of people that have seen Ted's channel. And what a fantastic young man. Ted, you're doing a hell of a job. Kind of a Ben Vesser moment here. But no, I think we've all of us talking inside conversations of for a young guy, what a wealth of knowledge. You farm 3,000 acres. He runs about 3,000 acres, and he's doing it with a Magnum 315. You show me any other YouTube channel that runs 3,000 acres with a Magnum 315 as the primary tractor and runs cattle on the side. It's not like he just gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning or 6 in the morning like, well, I think I'm just going to sit in the sprayer today and do 1,500 acres of beans and corn each. Now, he gets up at whatever and runs crop all day, every day, and still has to get cattle fed and taken care of. He is a non-stop little farming machine. And so, guys, check out his channel if you haven't been there. And yeah, that's just he's just an impressive guy. I've sent many people his way that aren't YouTube um, people. They just watch a video, they're not commenters, they're not subscribers, because he's got a lot going on, with all these different forages. But all right, back to topic at hand. So yeah, that's the simplicity of the bud box. And the beautiful thing about this is as you grow, so you got 20 cows today, you're going to run 3 at a time. In 5 years, you got 100 cows. All you do, add a few more panels out that way, add a few more panels to the alley section, so maybe you do 5 cows at a time or 6 cows at a group. You could still do 100 cows through this group. Just do it 3 to 4 at a time. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not that bad of a deal. It's really slick. It is really slick. I like it. And so hopefully this fall, I'm trying to figure out how to get a cattle trailer and back it up here to drop off 2 cows to run them through, and then put the trailer up at the other end to load them back up to take them to the feed lot. And so maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll set something up when we're sorting steers or whatever. We'll figure something out to get some cows running through this system just for a good video purpose. But guys, there's the Tuff Built Livestock bud box. Let's get going. So here's the headland spot. We'll get into the rows here in a second, but this spot looks great. We had mowed this chunk, kind of turned out bad, so we just mowed it. But what I'm really excited about here is this is the first time I've really seen vetch take off in our fields. And look at down the row, that's all vetch. That is a lot of nitrogen being produced. Probably not enough to be by itself, but vetch, it just 60-inch corn. This is the 30-inch headland. We'll get over to the corn in a second, but look at all the vetch down here. And so that is very exciting, because this is the most success I've had out of vetch, and it's this looking type of plant with them little tiny leaves. It's just the wispiest of a plant, but even when it gets super big in our environment, it's still an easy thing to plant into in the spring, because it's dead and it's broken. It cuts very easy. It doesn't rope up like some of the grasses, and it makes nitrogen. This keeps on growing. We'll get a pretty good end credit out here from it. There's a little bit of buckwheat up there, but what's super cool is looking around the soil here is I think we ought to go back to my videos from 2017 to look at my soil. I mean, that doesn't look like East Central Minnesota soil. This is unreal, guys. I'll have to somehow get some timeline photos. I got photos from 2013 where it looks like beach sand and it's gullying out the fields. But this is unreal how this soil is shaping up. It's taken some years to get here. I'm not going to lie. We had 4 years of, what in the hell are we doing kind of stuff. But there's some mushrooms. Yeah, let's get to the 60-inch. Here's a spot. We got some good brassicas growing here, punching that hole in our soil. The ears are coming along. The plants are a little wispy, but I think a lot of that is the year. This row don't look that good, but this row looks great kind of deal. I think there's a particular spot in the field, but big corn, a lot of nice looking ears. I use my little spinner spreader, and so you got vetch and brassica. A lot of brassicas happen to be in this spot. So I think that's where I can do the corn, row unit of cover crop, corn kind of deal, and let all these plants come out of that trench and just let them grow off to the side or figure something out, but yeah, that I like it. It's coming along for its first year of attempting it. there's promise here. There's real promise. The problem is we're just starting to dent. That's the problem. That's not 60-inch corn or 30-inch corn. That's just the environment we're at. Guys, I'm liking this a lot here. It got a little thin, so this is what I don't like about the broadcaster is it's not very consistent. So I think some type of drill, or just make a drill kind of thing. Maybe a guy just uses a grain drill to plant corn from now on. I don't know. Figure something out. Life is working so hard. It's actually building aggregates on top of the soil. You know what I mean? They talk about that cottage cheese. That it's actually building cottage cheese. There's a big clump of some Italian grass. That's awesome. It's actually building clumps of dirt on top of the soil. I'm getting cottage cheese on top. This is fairly new to this soil. We had a hard time as kids getting worms. Some buckwheat, oats, clover, brassicas. What do you guys think? Free corn on corn forever? The only thing we need to haul out is a little turkey litter every year for some P and K and micronutrients. Otherwise, we'll be growing next year's night. The goal, we're going to do this again next year, the whole field. The whole 60 acres, 50 acres will be 60-inch corn next year. We're going to put clovers and alfalfas and legumes and perennials out here as well next year to just start that nitrogen program going. And so we might have to go back to strip tilling because in a couple years it might just get too thick